This your game? Huh?
Which brings us to the question, well, is it? Who's the real crisis actor? For Alex Jones has single-handedly crushed your First Amendment rights. Now, you have to agree with everything that's stated, everything that's put before you. You cannot challenge it. You can't even say you don't believe it's true. And we were warned of this slimy bastard by one Bill, or some say William Cooper. This was nothing more than a money grab. He doesn't believe none of what he says.
Before we get started, I have to clear up a little discrepancy here. Apparently the other night, or within the last week, because I've been getting a lot of email about this, and I even received one telephone call. Apparently somebody called the Alex Jones broadcast and asked him why he didn't have me on the air, or asked him something about me. Alex Jones said he had me on the air once before, several years ago, and had to cut me off the air because of the foul language that I used. So on the air tonight, I'm going to tell you, Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, miserable, stinking little coward liar.
You will admit, you've done mocking imitations of Sandy Hook parents crying, correct?
No.
I want to play you a video clip, too, from September 24th, 2014 and November 11th, 2016. We play the video clip.
And then you've got parents laughing on, and they walk over to the camera, and not just one, but a bunch of parents doing this. Then we see footage of one of the reported fathers of the victims, Robbie Parker, doing classic acting training where he's laughing and joking, and they say, hey, we're live. And he goes, oh. And maybe that's real.
Is this your game? Huh? Is this your game?
You realize now, you were mocking the difficult emotional reactions of people who provably lost their children.
No, I was not mocking. I was showing what people were questioning. It was not to mock the parents. It was showing why people were questioning. It's you that is projecting mocking onto it. I was showing what he did.
Which is the literal definition of mocking. This is you guys' hero. This is you guys' king, who abandoned everything he believed in the heat of pressure.
Now let me say that again so there's no mistake about it. You can all tell Alex Jones that I said this, and I suspect he's listening because he does. Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, stinking, rotten little coward liar.
Starting into 2015, you learned that a Sandy Hook parent named Leonard Posner was behind a group called Honor Network, correct? That was fighting online abuse of Sandy Hook victims?
I did, I think.
And when you learned that, and when Honor complained to YouTube in 2015, you told your viewers that Honor was run by Mr. Posner. You showed addresses being used by Mr. Posner, and you said he needed to be investigated in Florida. Didn't you say that?
No.
Okay, let's play a clip here. I'm going to show you something that you and Mr. Dew were talking about on February 12th, 2015. You play addresses?
He's been getting all kinds of grief from Mr. Posner. Anything that comes out, social media shut down due to Sandy Hook false copyrights. What's interesting is they list the address for the Honor Network in Boca Raton, Florida. You look up the address on that, and it says, you think, if they had this organization, they would have some sort of headquarters where they would be setting up a memorial.
We'll just start investigating that. I guess I'm going to have to probably go up to Newtown. I'm going to have to probably go investigate Florida as well.
If a person were to stake out those addresses, they could wait for Mr. Posner to come pick up his mail, couldn't they?
Objection is to form.
True?
The guy's running an anti-free speech foundation.
Let me make sure I have this really clear. You don't believe the official story is Sandy Hook. You think there was a cover-up You think there was manipulation? You think that there is some sinister thing going on?
I still think children died. I believe mass shootings happened. They just had one in Brazil, a tragedy. And I believe it's a crisis. And I go back to the point of all gun owners being collectively blamed, then it's traumatic, and so people go and they find anomalies, and then I've kind of retrospectively gone back and seen how I did believe that stuff. And then I go back and I've now studied more, actually, the real anomalies, and it's just the school system and government trying to cover its rear end from liability. And so there definitely has been there's been a cover-up of the events, and I think there's a lot of evidence showing there could have been a second shooter. There is the helicopter footage, the man in the woods.
I was only on the Alex Jones show one time. It was years ago, when I didn't know who he was, when I didn't realize what a liar and a coward and a sensationalist bullshit artist that he is.
William Bill Cooper gave birth to these conspiracy artists. And I call them artists because that's what they are. They're all copying him, but they're liars and they don't stand on what they believe. He died for what he believed.
He was on one little FM station down in Texas. He wasn't on all the stuff that he's on now.
I, for one, believe there's two things going on with Alex Jones that are possible at least. One is that he is a straight-up agent and he's killing the First Amendment. Now you can't say what you believe. Now you're forced to believe whatever they show you on the news, which is bullshit. The second is that he's a prophet for profit. He's a conspiracist for money, and he built an empire on lying to y'all about what he believes.
Do you understand, as you sit here today, how crazy that is?
I have said before that there have been so many lies and so many things in the past, and I was under a lot of pressure. And I truly, when I said those statements, when I say something, I mean it, that I really could believe that it was totally staged at that point. And I was basing that off of really Steve Pieczenik, who has been a very prestigious person.
Do you understand now that it was absolutely irresponsible of you?
It was, especially since I've met the parents, and it's 100% real, as I said on the radio yesterday, and as I said here yesterday, it's 100% real, and the media still ran with lies that I was saying it wasn't real on air yesterday. It's incredible. They won't let me take it back.
Now, I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's fake. All I'm saying is you should be able to voice your opinion on what you believe. I've noticed in America for certain classes that's possible, but for other classes and for certain subjects it's possible, but not for other subjects. You shouldn't have to want to go with the majority.